This is Rem Fox, back on air for the first time this semester. Welcome back to school, and let's dive in. As many of you know, we've been covering recent and significant research done here at the University of Idaho. Today our next researcher is Sidney Freeman Jr., a former student from Oakwood University in Alabama. His research is focusing on helping the higher education system. It's a field of study that examines the entire spectrum of higher education and attempts to identify specific systematic strategies that work well when discussing the administrative side of higher education. Dr. Freeman has his master's and doctoral degree in higher education, both from Auburn University. The field of education covers a wide variety of topics at the collegiate level, specifically student affairs, enrollment, or faculty issues. The field seeks to identify the best strategies and practices to follow in the college administration system. Freeman quotes, "In the early days of the American university system, presidents gained most of their power and influence from their position. Today they navigate increasingly complex webs of competition, financial issues, technology limitations, politics, and more. Scholars like Freeman argue that this requires intentional study and preparation through leadership training programs or higher education administration degrees. Since 2006, the University of Idaho has participated in a publication titled Journal for the Study of Post-Secondary and Tertiary Education. This publication, headed by Freeman, has opened up and exposed many thought processes and further questioning in key aspects of higher education. This promotes more awareness and, in turn, more research focus to the studying of higher education. This publication is read and actively participated in nearly 50 countries where universities share the same view on higher education. You need people that are well trained to address these issues on college campuses and not just in your particular institution. Freeman argues that this is a global education issue and not just one local to our community. The problems that college face now are the same as years ago at their roots, but the path that we have to take now to revise and address issues is entirely different altogether because of the education that we have. Freeman's efforts and the efforts of others around him are largely contributing to the focus of keeping higher education a relevant field to study and clearing up the somewhat murky and confusing waters that currently compose the higher education environment. When asked what keeps the research interesting, Freeman says, "If you actually believe that we want an educated citizenry, and you believe that education is one of the last democratic vehicles for upward mobility, then you've invested in the idea that higher education is important, not only to a person as an individual, but to a society at large." Thank you all for listening in on the research that Dr. Freeman is conducting here at the University of Idaho. We'll be back next week with more coverage.